Hey, KORTZ. Big Sam. Marley Brothers. Hey, nice. Yeah, so I was just talking a little bit about plant-based diet and the transition to it, and the intention of it is to reduce mucus-forming foods, which mucus plaque can accumulate in our tissues, in our intestines, in our colon, and pretty much block proper flow and obstruct proper biological activity. And once that happens, different manifestations that the medical society has classified as different names will actually show up. So the intention of the plant-based diet, veganism, is to reduce mucus-forming foods. That's why people start feeling better, because everything is flowing better. So therefore, all the fancy names for the different types of conditions, they're no longer valid. That's why cancer has only 5% chance of being genetic. The rest of it is from our diet and how we live our life. If we're stressful, etc. If we live in places that have a lot of air contamination, food, water contamination, we're absorbing that. That's called acidic waste. Accumulates in the muscles and the tissues, and together with a diet that has a lot of mucus, the mucus also absorbs in itself more toxins that just sit there, like heavy metals and bacteria and viruses and crap that just sits there. Will this be saved? Yeah, Connor. Yeah. Hey, man, thank you for tuning in very much. I saved the first one, and yeah, I definitely will save this. Great. Yeah, I think the more people go vegan, I think it will start balancing out the environment. It's pretty ridiculous what's happening. So yeah, there's basically only one disease. It's called intertoxicity, forming mucus layers in our tissues, obstructing natural flow of our biocurrent. Okay. The presence. Here's a nice little fact for you. Actually, how I want to say this. You know, this is interesting because we're talking about veganism. I think that here's the thing, is like our reality has changed because the quality of food has gone down like big time, really decreased in quality in terms of its nutritional value and its cleanliness. Like it's no longer like clean. It doesn't have it contains all kind of different chemicals, pesticides, pharmaceuticals, all kind of crap, heavy metals, you know, not really nice. That's our food, processed food. Now here's the thing, and this is something to consider. Now, in the past, you know, in the past, like let's say I'm talking about more than 100 years ago, our food was cleaner, our soils were more mineralized, the environment was cleaner. You know, there was most people used wood for firewood for heating. Electricity, you know, let's say before electricity, you know, industry wasn't there, chemical dumping wasn't there, chemical fertilizer weren't there, herbicides, pesticides weren't there. So in essence, as a whole, the ecosystem was much cleaner, meaning more minerals present in the soil, meaning better quality produce, meaning better quality food, meaning better quality animals. Now, here's another thing. Because the whole animal meat or dairy industry, or the animal industry was not commercialized like it is today, back more than 100 years ago, then I could safely guess and say that even people that ate back then some meat and some dairy were healthier than people who do that today. Okay, because it was cleaner. Okay, and I think also that they would eat less. They would eat more in balance. Just because today everything is so available and we're so most of us are so affluent, but mostly everything is more available because it's cheaper also, and commercial processing of meat and dairy, it's all available. You can find it anywhere, you know. They've developed different techniques to, this music is pretty annoying, let me change it. They developed different techniques to maximize yield, to maximize productivity. Lauryn Hill. All right, you know, to maximize productivity and to process more and more food, as if we're running out of food. So they're making much more food, but with a very low quality. So what happens is that, you know, the food quality is low and it's more available, so more people eat low quality food, you know, and it's cheaper. So there are even very cheap options, so people go and buy these very cheap, you know, meat and dairy, and get even sicker. Now again, going back to more than 100 years ago, less availability, cleaner soils, cleaner environment, cleaner produce, cleaner animals, right? Because they eat from the same produce that we eat. So in essence, a much more healthier society, that also whoever did eat meat, whoever did eat dairy, ate it in a more balanced way, in a more balanced manner. It's when modern day living and modern industry and modernism, you know, technology started happening. This is too much as well. Let me find you something, I'm sorry. Started is when people started eating crappy food and getting sicker, okay? So before that, if people were eating a little bit of meat, a little bit of, you know, they would grow their own, you know, they had a little farm, they grow their own vegetables, they have a little cow, they have, you know, some chicken and stuff like that, and it's more balanced, it's more wholesome. So whoever ate there, people started getting sick when industry started, when modern day started, modern technology and electricity started. People started getting sicker, which is kind of a paradox. You're like, oh, we have all these modern stuff and we're getting sicker. How can that be? You know. Now here's something that you want to know. For instance, before they had electricity, so they used to heat up with wood. Did you know that communities, what they would do is they would take the ashes of the wood and put it back into the soil? Who knows the sentence from ashes to ashes? We cannot create minerals. We have to absorb them from the soil, from rock, from nature. You know, plants absorb them from rocks. Therefore, they can never be destroyed, and they only cycle through nature. Okay, minerals, right? So they burn. So they used to, before electricity, they use wood to heat, and they take the ashes, they put it back in the soil. What did they just do? Again, minerals cannot be burned or destroyed, so they just returned minerals into the earth. They did that intuitively because they saw it work. It's like the best fertilizer, and it increases their yield in agriculture and whatever they're growing. Now, come modern day electricity, when electricity started, we start, you know, using electricity and light, and then no fire. There's no more fire. There's less ashes going back into the earth. Guess what? And you can research that. Diabetes around that time increased. What is diabetes? A deficiency in chromium and vanadium, two trace minerals. Two trace minerals, okay? So, and then Industrial Revolution, get cancer, arthritis, dermatitis, hepatitis, all kind of stuff started when minerals in the soil started to be depleted. The building of dams. The nature has its own intelligence, which means, water would carry silt into the soils, into the agricultural soils. Okay, so when you put a dam, you're just obstructing the natural course of nature of bringing that silt into agricultural soils. So again, they're stopping minerals from going back and nurturing the system, the ecosystem. So we live in a modern society, we live in a modern world, and we're sick. We're mineral deficient. Our plants are growing with like very minimal of what they used to have 120 years ago, and people today are weaker, have a weaker constitution than what they had before. For women, for instance, up to age or 12, that's it. The bone formation is going to determine how, their constitution for all their life. So between age 0 until 12, it's important to mineralize, to have enough minerals and nutrition to build strong constitution. Now, so why I told you about this, about communities that still ate dairy and meat back then. Here's what they found. The presence of minerals, even in the populations that ate meat and dairy straight from the farm, has been shown to provide longevity. The presence of minerals in those communities has been shown to provide longevity. It's when there is mineral deficiency that many problems arise, and which modern medicine just offers an expensive and toxic plasters to cure these conditions, when in reality no cure really happens, and we know that. And these feeds, like a lot of the people on the feeds here, it's almost like I think that it's good to bring like people that don't know this, or the people that can benefit from this type of information, that maybe it's new to them, and you think that it can benefit them, and that, and you sense that if you invite them to join, they can get something of value from these types of feeds. So Dr. Wallach, and I quote him a lot, Dr. Joel Wallach, he's actually a veterinarian and a naturopath, and he grew up on a farm, and he observed animals. He said, look, animals don't have health insurance, because if they have had health insurance, a pound of well, he's talking about the meat and egg industry, but he said a pound of meat would cost $500, or a dozen eggs will cost $100. And he says that's the reason why animals don't have health insurance, meaning that if they don't have health insurance, what do they have? Well, he says that every animal has pellets. Pellets are nutritionally condensed food, just like dogs have dog pellets. So dog pellets, monkey pellets, parrot pellets, sheep pellets, cow pellets, sheep pellets, giraffe pellets. Every animal has their pellets, which are nutritionally dense foods that have all the minerals, the essential nutrients, which are, he says 60 minerals are essential, and I think that beyond that is like all the trace minerals, which are super important in small amounts. So he says 60 minerals, 16 amino acids, 12 vitamins, and 3 omega fatty acids, essential fatty acids. So you got all these animals that they have this special type of diet that they give them to prevent disease, okay, and well, their thinking is to lower the cost of the actual animal products that they offer, right, in the market. Now, he looked at that. He grew up in a farm. He says, hey, if animals get this special nutrition to stay healthy and to prevent the need of medical insurance, as if medical insurance did, as if medicine does anything, you know. So he says, if they're healing animals, why not me apply the same concepts to people and heal people from conditions with all the essential nutrients? Pretty easy. So Dr. Wallach says that for each condition, there's a mineral that can solve it. Not only a mineral, there's other essential nutrients. So mainly is a mineral. Now, no animal or plant on the planet can produce minerals. Nothing. You find me an animal or plant that produces minerals, I'll give you $1 million. Okay? No animal or plant can produce minerals. Minerals come from the earth and return to the earth. So again, from dust to dust, that's where it comes from. That's what it means. So minerals come from the earth and return to the earth. Now, something about, I know I'm a little bit kind of digressing, but it's all related to the same thing. You know, the intention of veganism and plant-based diet, basically, and now we're getting to a little bit of health. So, you know, Dr. Wallach, he talks a lot about, and feel free to check him out, Dr. Joel Wallach. He has tons of YouTube information and videos. He's an older guy, He's 75, I think, close to 80, and he's still very active. He wrote the book Dead Doctors Don't Lie. He says, you know, the average lifespan of a doctor in the US is, what do you say, 59 to 65. So if they know everything about health, why don't they live until 120? And he confronts them. So he says medicine in the US is driven by insurance money, okay? That's why it's expensive. And people become customers of their doctors versus really healed. This is important. People become customers of their doctors versus really healed. If we had health insurance for animals, I said that before, but if we had health insurance for animals, then dairy, meat, and eggs would cost so much we couldn't even afford them. That's why each animal has specific pellets. I just said that, yeah, with all the essential nutrients, amino acids, omega-3s, essential fatty acids, and vitamins. So why not humans? Okay? Why not humans? Why not? Hey, Eli Bey. Vixen, thank you for your support. I love it. I love it. Simple Truther, how's it going? Nice. I like that name, Vixen. I don't know. I like it. It's almost like a little, well, Vixen. Yeah, it's great. Hey, man. So get a hold of this. Another thing, I'm quoting Dr. Wallach. He says there are millions of deaths per year caused by medical malpractice, and mostly after simple medical procedures. Like they tell someone, "Oh, you have." He said Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong. Was it the person who, well, they said walked on the moon? I don't believe the moon thing was real, but anyway, the astronaut Neil Armstrong. Well, Neil, but the astronaut. He went to the doctor recommended that he go through a medical procedure to check something. I think it was in prostate. Anyway, came out of that procedure, died after 2 days. You know, and several of these. Because he went to the doctor and the doctor said, hey, why not check on this? You know, and every procedure that the doctor recommends, they get insurance money. That's how they collect insurance money. So you go and sitting at the doctor's office and they sell you medical routine procedures, and aside from pharmaceuticals and stuff, and every procedure that they sell you, they're getting money, cha-ching, you know, from the insurance company. So we become customers of the doctors, literally customers versus really healed. So millions of deaths per year caused by malpractice, and mostly after simple medical procedures. Now here's what Dr. Wallach said. He said if we had terrorists that would come and kill millions in the US would send bombers to destroy their countries and towns, and yet even that, many doctors, after killing millions of patients from simple procedures, roam the earth free and get to keep and still keep their license. How about that? So basically what's going on, and I think that a vegan diet is way better than a regular diet that has a lot of potential of leaving a lot of toxic residue, which are coming from dairy and meat and eggs. Which again, the quality of all these things, like I was saying before, back 120 years ago, if people ate a little bit of meat, a little bit of dairy, the quality was way, 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 way better, and they ate less because they didn't have much, and it wasn't that available, and they didn't have, refrigeration, so it was fresh, it was like they killed it, they ate it, or if it's eggs, it's like from the same day, or if it's dairy, it's from the same day, it's fresh. The earth is cleaner, everything is more cleaner in the environment, the ecosystem. And doctors will the first person who they'll kill you first. Yeah. Hey Peoria, oh nice, you joined, how's it going? So yeah, so the vegan diet way better today because our food quality. First of all, animal products very dirty. I don't care if it's organic or whatever, and a lot of the organic eggs, organic chicken, free range, my ass, I don't care anything, it's not wholesome, it's not clean. It's massively produced, overproduction, even in the organic. Too much availability, you should question it. Too much availability of something, you should question the quality of it. That's normally how it is. So, vegan diet today, day and age, we basically, and we can admit that or not, you can if you want, you don't have to. And even though it still exists, we're living in a cesspool of toxicity, which means we're daily absorbing toxins from the air, from food, from our water, environment, smoke, cars, trains, ships, industry, dumping, seawater, chemtrails, agricultural pesticides, pharmaceutical traces. We're daily bombarded pretty much by a heavy load of toxicity. So we can walk with that, and accumulate that and have that form and join into the mucus placoid that is already there, and the mucosal placoid becomes thicker and thicker, filled with toxins, and then we get sick. Or we can be aware of the need to constantly cleanse our cells and organs. And the first thing of that is the vegan diet. I think plant-based diet, clean, okay. Again, you want to eat organic. Now another thing is infrared saunas. A regular sauna heats the cells from outside in. Infrared sauna will heat your cells from the inside out, which is pretty interesting. And it has a ability to clean the cells, okay? Detoxify the cells. So infrared sauna. Also, hot and cold baths, showers, hot springs, soaking in hot springs once a week. Intermittent fasting also will contribute to helping the body rid of all these toxins that we're bombarded of daily. Juicing, herbs, and exercise, of course. Exercise, I do daily for the past 8 years. I jump on a trampoline. It's called a rebounder. It's a mini trampoline, and that actually shakes it works on the lymph, the fluid in between the cells, and it moves the lymph, and the lymph is where all the toxins end up from the cells, from cellular activity, so it helps move that outside of the body. Auro will most definitely help with the pineal gland. Who asked that? Someone asked that. Glad to see people are spreading these things and promoting and happy. Yep. Thank you, John Ryan. Very true, all is direct. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Vixen, again. You're like my right hand here, Vixen. Thank you. So in essence, because of the quality of our food, and I'm gonna go into a little bit of, I'll tie this all in. Come for instance, we talked about minerals, and I'm gonna talk specifically about the Auro Gold, which most of you know about. Auro Gold minerals, also this little bottle. People ask me what actually it is, okay, and I'll give you a short explanation about what it is. It's basically a complete mineral matrix of between 70 to 102 essential minerals and trace minerals. Trace minerals are needed in the body in small amounts. And it's extracted from biotite, volcanic rock. The procedure to extract it, basically, we used to have in our soil an abundance of bacteria that used to convert, that what they do is convert rock into bioavailable mineral. Bioavailable meaning minerals that can be absorbed by plants, okay? Now, we used to have an abundance of these bacteria in the soil that would secrete a type of acid material and dissolve rock into bioavailable minerals. Now, since industry started, chemical dumping, chemical fertilizers, herbicides, pesticides, GMO cropping, unintelligent agricultural practices like till farming, which till farming and no-till farming. So they would do till farming, and then what I said before, that modernism, modern day technology, including electricity. So if they're using electricity, they're not using wood to heat up and to cook, which means they used to use wood and take the ashes and put it in the soil, and the ashes in the wood is minerals, and they bring it back. So a lot of mineral depletion, and all these chemicals that they were dumping from industry, etc., killed off most of this bacterial layer in the soil, meaning that the conduit, the missing link between the rocks and the plants, these bacteria that would break down the rocks into minerals are not there. So you got rocks and you got plants, and whereas how are they going to convert it so the plant can absorb the minerals? So what happens is whatever minerals, little minerals that are left in the soil, from bacteria that used to be there, the plant absorbs until there's no more real enough minerals. So what happens is, back when farmers were not aware of this, they would pretty much leave. Okay, they would, sit in one place. I'm talking about less than 100 years. Settle in one place, grow their food. Then one day, the food is not working and not growing. Why? Because the soil is depleted and they don't even know. So they take their family and go to another place, deplete the soil, do it again, and then people got smart, so to speak, and they created chemical fertilizers that have 3 minerals: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, NPK. Okay, now they found out that a plant can grow with NPK, 3 minerals only. Where the fuck are the rest of the 97 or 99, 100? Sorry, yeah, 99, because we said 102, or 70 to 102. Okay, so where's the rest? They grew plants that growed with like 3 minerals, and a plant that grows with only 3 minerals from like artificial fertilizer is not maximizing its potential in terms of building nutrition, building amino acids, building essential fatty acids, and building vitamins. So we're in essence eating plants and starting to eat plants that are really low in nutrition. So that's a long description, but the Auro is mimicking the same procedure that these bacteria in the soil used to do to extract these minerals. So the patent was created by a Japanese scientist. Today he's in his hundreds, over 100. He spent 50 years of his life to find a solution to clean out or restore the integrity of the groundwater. and he mined this rock, his biotite volcanic rock, and he extracted them. He built a machine actually that mimicked the whole process that the bacteria used to do. They used to extract a certain type of acid, because acid will dissolve the minerals and activate them. Acid is a highly charged state. It's a highly charged medium. You know, the sun is acidic. It's like a battery, potential energy. Okay, it's electricity. So he's using sulfuric acid to extract the minerals into bioavailable sulfate active form. Okay, ionic minerals. They're suspended in water and a little bit of sulfuric acid, and they're alive, they're active. So plants can absorb them, animals, humans. Now the water purification abilities of the specific source of minerals that he extracted and created this liquid from have been discovered later. It's like, whoa, this also cleans all this stuff. This is amazing. You know, so not only we have a liquid that has 70 to 102 minerals in it, they purify over 250 toxins from water, neutralize them, and they structure the water, create the hexagonal shape, beautiful crystal shape, and they add 70 to 102 ionic bioavailable minerals. They use the Auro in agriculture, and plants create really strong roots really quick, and they grow more resilient plants. Of course, plants that have much more nutrition. All right. Now, people ask me how the Auro will work, and I'll go over it right now. Basically, when there's clusters of contaminants when there's contaminants in the water, they accumulate. They're in clusters. Okay. Now they're invisible to the eye. They're in clusters. They're bonded to the water molecules in a very stable bond. Okay, they're soluble, all right, and they're invisible to the eye. Like you look at a glass of tap water, oh, okay, looks clear, nothing's there. Guess what? We put the Auro 5 to 8 drops in a cup of water. Excuse me. What happens is the minerals will, how do I say? They will unzip the clusters. Okay, they'll weaken the molecular relationships between the clusters and the water molecules. Okay, so there's the molecular relationship is getting weakened. These contaminant clusters start falling out of the solution, out of the water. They're becoming insoluble and visible, and deactivated, and they sink to the bottom. Okay, now here's something you want to remember, because this ties into a question. People ask me, oh, okay, well, what do we do with the contaminants? Can we drink them? Do we filter them out? Basically, contaminants that are insoluble cannot penetrate cell membrane. The contaminants are neutralized and rendered inert. Inert is another word for inactive. They cannot penetrate cell membrane. That's your answer right there. If the contaminants if you can drink them or not, that's your answer. Okay, so pretty much the Auro in the water will make the contaminants insoluble. They will never mix in with the water again, and visible. So you can actually, you know, I had a cup here and they threw it away. It's like I wanted to save it, but I treated like tap water, LA tap water, and I left it for a few days. I treated it like on a live feed, and I showed people, and it sat here, and then excuse me. You know, I have this bug in my where as a Mac here. I have this like bug that I have pop-ups in a Mac. You know, that never happens. Anyway, so sorry, pulled me out of my focus here on this. So contaminants sink down to the bottom. Yeah, so I had this cup of LA tap water, and I treated them on a live feed, and then I left it, and I showed it a few days later, and you see, and so okay, so you see the cup of water, there's nothing there, right? I treated with the minerals. I left it on the counter here for a few days, brought it back, did a feed after 4 days. You know, there's a whole layer on the bottom. Suddenly, now it's really clear, okay? The water's really clear. It's nicely clear. It's like crystal clear. And the contaminants sank to the bottom. Those contaminants were inside the water, invisible and soluble. They were attached to the water molecules. We cannot see them. What the Auro does is pulls out the contaminants out of the solution, makes them insoluble, inactive, neutralized, sink to the bottom, and they never mix with the water again, and they cannot, the contaminants cannot penetrate cell membrane. So, exactly, everything isn't what it seems to be. Exactly. Where do you get all this information? You know, it's years of research. Well, what I'm saying right now is pretty much about the Auro, and that's the science of what it's doing. You can read on our website. The explanation is there. You can feel free to, if you want to take it to a lab, take it to a lab. Do the whole process under a electronic microscope and notice how everything happens. Everything that I just said. So people ask me if they can use the Auro in tap water. Yes, you can use it in tap water, basically in any water and in any liquid, in juice, smoothie, soda, wine, alcohol, coffee, tea, whatever you drink. Okay. People ask me if they can use Auro in a bath. Positive. You know, ever go to mineral hot springs and you can feel really good after soaking in them, is because our skin, being pH of 5.5, is highly absorbent. Again, 5.5 is very acidic, highly absorbent. And when we soak in hot springs, our body's absorbing these minerals. The minerals are cleaning out of the body, basically mucoid plaque. That's why you're feeling better. So how much to put in a bath? Auro, put 4 ounces in a bath and literally soak as much as possible, as long as possible. Literally sit there for 3 hours if you want. Now here's something that a lot of people ask me. Yeah, any water, anything. People ask me about, does Auro create alkaline water? Now, here's the whole thing about alkaline water. I'll break it down for you. I did a whole presentation about this, but it's important. The entire alkaline acid concept is highly misunderstood, okay? It's not, okay, get low of this. It's not the pH of the water or food that we consume. It's not the pH, okay? It's not that matters. It's not the pH of the water or food that we drink, eat, or eat that matters, okay? It's the effect that it has on the body once it's consumed and broken down, food and water, okay? It either donates H+ hydrogen ions, okay, or it takes away, okay? A lime, for instance, a lime is acidic. Now, it has an alkalizing effect once it's broken down in the body, which means it donates hydrogen ions, okay? And these commercials, it donates hydrogen ions, a lime, okay? So that it's acidic and it has an alkalizing effect once it's broken down. It's broken down, it donates alkalizes salts as ascorbates. Okay? The sun is acidic, fully charged. Acid is potential energy, just like in a battery acid, potential energy, right? Can power something. How's that? Acid medium is a highly charged medium where important biological activity occurs. So when we say, so acid is not all that bad. Like people say, oh, acid. No, here's the thing. When we say we are acidic, we are not all acidic. We cannot be all acidic. Every organ in our body has a different pH. The stomach is 1.5. That's so acidic that it can make if you have a 1.5, you can make a hole in your table. Our skin is 5.5. That's acidic. Our bile is 12. That's alkaline. And what does it do? It emulsifies fats. Okay, now when we say, oh, we're acidic, it doesn't mean that we're all acidic. Normally they refer to the blood, because the blood is like 7 point something supposed to be pH, and a small fluctuation is really detrimental. So when we say we're all acidic, we're not all acidic. We have some acidic waste somewhere in the body, in some tissue in the body or tissues, which the body basically has localized in order to pull minerals to that place that work in acid environment, that are activated in acidic environment, and they neutralize that waste. Okay, so when we have acidity, here's the different way to say it. I'm not acidic. I have acidity in the body, some kind of acidic waste that is sitting there, and the body has localized it, and it needs to draw minerals to that place and clean out that acid waste. All right? So each organ, like I said, has its proper operating pH. The body is not all acid, it's not all alkaline. Each organ has its own different pH. That just blows the whole alkaline water completely out of the window. Oh, I'll drink alkaline water, I'll be all alkaline. Whatever. So it's either a water, there's a water or food that is acidifying, meaning leaving acid waste in the body, such as meat, dairy, processed food, and junk food, which are leaving a lot of acidic, toxic residue in the body, which the body needs to process. Now here's something about that right there. When a plant grows with all the minerals that it needs, first of all, it has all the nutrition, all the amino acids, all the essential fatty acids, omegas, and all the vitamins, okay? Therefore, we're getting a wholesome, nutritious, electric, like Dr. Sebi says, plant, okay? That's no longer the reality today, all right? Also, when it has all the nutrition, it also has the minerals for the body, the minerals and the components, the nutritional components for the body to be able to assimilate that plant and break it down. What happens today is, since our produce and animal products our soil is mineral deficient, okay? So our soil mineral deficient, all produce is mineral deficient, and animals are mineral deficient, and consequently humans. Okay, so therefore, even when we're eating high quality organic, we're still getting maybe 18 minerals at most. Our body is not receiving the proper nutrition to be able to assimilate this plant. Therefore, a lot of acidic waste from that plant or whoever eats animals stays in the body. Now, it's compounded because we're mineral deficient, and minerals are needed in order to clean acidic waste. So if we're mineral deficient and we're keep on eating food that is mineral deficient, we keep on accumulating toxicity in the body, acidic waste, and our tissues are becoming more acidified, okay? All right? So it's basically either a food or a water is acidifying, leaving acidic waste, such as meat, dairy, processed, and junk food, which are all devoid of real nutrition. Or the water or food that we're eating is alkalizing, has an alkalizing effect, meaning that it's donating mineral salts to the body, essential mineral salts, okay? Auro liquid gold is suspended in water, and like I said, a little bit of sulfuric acid which activates the minerals and turns them into sulfate minerals. Fully bioavailable. They cross cell membrane, they clean water. Auro in water will show a pH of about 6. That's acidic. Why? Because of a little bit of the sulfuric acid. But what we said before, what I just said is that it's not the pH of the water or the food, it's the effect that it has on the body once it's consumed, all right? So even though water with Auro will show an acidic pH, low pH, and again, it depends on the content of the water and in terms of the contaminants that specific water has, that will affect the pH. When the water with the Auro is drank, the minerals inside of it will go to work in the body, and one of the roles of minerals is adjusting the various pH levels in the body. Each organ has its own pH level. What does that? Minerals. Okay, that's an alkalizing effect, if you will. Okay. Hope that's clear. Let me see if there's some questions here. I know I've been talking a lot. I got Vixen here, my right hand, answering questions. That's good. Plastic water tastes sweet to me. Awesome, Dart. That's good. I buy glass water. Yeah, glass water. You know, I'm gonna have probably like, I don't know how many of these, but probably like 12 or even 20. This is Myron glass, very sturdy glass. I'm gonna bottle more of these with the Auro. This is a quart. It's the same size as this. It's 1 liter. Okay. So and I'm also gonna bottle some of the droppers, the Myron glass droppers. It's really strong, beautiful, amazing glass. I love it. I use it as my water bottle forever. You know, this thing. So yeah, I'm gonna bottle some of these, and whoever wants, just let me know, and you'll have, because once you're done with this, you pretty much have like an amazing water bottle. Commercials, man, too much commercials. So let me see. Any questions? Plastic, drink glass bottles with Auro. Yeah. Perfect, beautiful. Gargle. One thing about gargling with the minerals, if you do, is I would say just a little bit, a tiny bit, because the minerals are too strong. So if you're putting 5 drops in a cup for drinking, I would put 1 drop in a cup for gargling. That's enough. I'm 15, so I'm a little young to be learning. Oh, this is as it affects my mind and puts me on the... Thank you, John Ryan. That's beautiful. Thank you for joining in. Yeah. I wish I grew up with this. I learned this 10 years ago when I was, you know, my 30s. Totally. Shower filters. You want to get, Darth, shower filter with like a coconut carbon kind of filter. They're pretty good. Yeah, somehow you said that. Okay, coconut anytime. Oh, you guys are interacting. That's good. Cool. All right, Vixen, that's it. You want to be my assistant, Vixen? Amazing. Some people ask what are organic minerals and what are inorganic minerals. I'm just going to clarify what that is. So first off, like I said before, the body, nor animal nor plant, can create minerals. No living cell can create minerals. Minerals are not created. They're just cycled through nature, okay? All living cells must absorb minerals from nature on a daily basis, because we cannot create them, okay? Minerals are not carbon-based. Our body is carbon-based. Our cells are carbon-based. So minerals come from deep earth, volcanic eruptions, rock formations. It's earth, from dust to dust. We came from dust, which refers to minerals, and we will go back to dust. You know, from dust to dust. So this physical recycles itself, like our soul recycles itself, you know, because our soul is the energy. Energy is not created. Energy just changes shape or changes state, if you will. Wow, it's already 9:30. All right, let me get this going here. So organic minerals and inorganic, what's the difference? All right, no living cell can create minerals. We must absorb them from the earth, from rock, daily. All right, originally it comes from rock. Now organic minerals refers to minerals that were made bioavailable, which means that they could be absorbed by a living cell. They're ionic, they're able to be absorbed and utilized by a living cell. Some call them plant digested, etc. It's not plant, it's bacteria in the soil that digest them. So they're simply activated minerals in an acid base via the process that soil bacteria perform on rock minerals. So we had, like I said before, bacteria in the soil that would secrete a type of acid and dissolve rock into bioavailable minerals, into a state of minerals, an activated state, ionic, and dissolved in acid, sulfate activated minerals that can be absorbed by living cells. So they call that, some people call that organic minerals. Inorganic minerals refers to the heavy metal state. So aluminum can have an inorganic state, a heavy metal state, aluminum, right? Pots and pans. And it can have a mineral state, which is used in the stomach to normalize and regulate stomach pH for digestion. Pretty interesting, isn't it? So inorganic minerals refers to the heavy metal state that are undissolved. It's undissolved minerals that are, it's not in a salt form. They cannot be absorbed by a living cell, and they will actually sediment in the liver and obstruct nerve and other activity. Alzheimer's, for instance, is caused by heavy metal toxicity. All right, heavy metal. So we're daily bombarded by inorganic minerals every day, from the air, food, industries, cars, ships, smogs, pharmaceuticals, etc., 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 etc. The good thing is that organic minerals, the plant absorbable minerals, can chelate or get rid of or attach to inorganic minerals and get them out of the body, get rid of them. All right. So bioavailable ionic minerals can attach to heavy metals and remove them from the body, remove them from a living tissue. All right. That's a little different. The little difference between organic and inorganic minerals. People ask me, is oral safe for pets? And the answer is yes. Animals will actually naturally gravitate to mineral-rich sources because they are in tune with their body's innate requirements. That's pretty interesting. If you take the oral minerals and put in your dog's water or your cat, they will naturally feel the vibration of that, because these minerals, they vibrate like the same megahertz as healthy cells, 75 megahertz. Animals will feel that, and they will gravitate to that water and drink a lot of it, because they naturally gravitate to what their body is naturally needing. Okay, for instance, cats and dogs that drink from water of a plant, right? Planters. Why? Because they're absorbing minerals from the soil. People ask me if oral is safe for pregnancy. Okay, this is a good question. Now, considering that more than 100 years ago we naturally received 70 to 102 essential minerals and trace minerals from our food and from our water, and it was something of just like day to day. That's how it is, right? Today we only get 4 to 18 at best due to huge mineral depletion in our soils. Then I think any person can understand that women giving birth more than 100 years ago consumed daily from their food and water 70 to 102 minerals, and passed those minerals also to their fetus, growing fetus. Now, here's an interesting fact. Since in pregnancy a growing fetus requires more resources, meaning it will draw more resources from the mother. Now, if the mother is already deficient in minerals, then and consequently in nutrition, which are amino acids, omega essential fatty acids, and vitamins, then the fetus won't have anywhere to draw from, right? The minerals in oral are the same 70 to 102 minerals which we used to receive daily from our food and our water. Okay, so they're extracted as is from nature. We don't change them, we just activate them in ionic sulfate form. Right? So nature has its own intelligence when it's supplying us exactly what we need in the perfect package. So that's the big answer, is oral safe for pregnancy. I think you can understand it from what I just said. Oral minerals are used for animals, plants, and humans. They've been using them in agriculture for decades. They actually did a research in they grew a I like how you guys are just having a nice hangout here and talking between yourselves. That's pretty good. Sedona is great. Yeah, it's another vortex, energetic vortex. What else do we have to say? All right, I mean, that's about it. I pretty much went here for almost 2 hours and talked a lot. It's getting a little late. All right, well, thank you very much, everyone. Loving the Auro Gold, bro. 4 months. Wow, excellent, beautiful. Good. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Vixen. Thank you, Joey. I joined late. I will rewatch. Yeah. Please rewatch. You know, it's really good information. I saved the first part and this part. First part, I also did a meditation for whoever was here. I hope you enjoyed the meditation as well. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining, for your attention. Time well spent. Thank you. And if anyone, if someone said they don't feel the effects from oral, well, I would ask them how they're using the oral, if they're actually adding it to each cup of liquid. When I say cup of liquid, I'm meaning not only water. They drink tea, coffee, if they're still drinking sodas or whatever, wine, alcohol, add the minerals to every liquid that they're drinking, juice, everything, consistently. Okay, now if they're still not feeling, then ask them, how many drops are you adding? Are you adding 5 or are you adding 1? Add minimum of 5. If they're not feeling it, add 8. Okay, and then when I explain to them to tune into what they feel, because the body will tell you how much you need. So the body calls for less and less minerals over time when you use the oral consistently. So that's about it for tonight. Thank you very much, everyone. Getting a little tired. Have a good night, and I will see you soon. All right.